Okay, so we wanted to sit down and give a little background on how we got here and kind of what the story is with why we're living here. So, I grew up here, kind of. My mom got remarried to Rick, my stepdad, when I was, oh gosh, I guess I don't know when they got married, but anyway, she moved up here when I was 7 or 8. I think the first time I came up here, I was 7. So I lived up here on and off. It's like hard to go to school out here. So I spent some time homeschooling and some time trying to commute into the closest town to go to school via dog sled, which had its challenges. And we spent some time actually living in town and um, actually spent some time in other parts of the country. So anyway, on and off. But yeah, from the time I was 8 until I left to go to school, I spent a good chunks of time in Alaska and chunks of time out here. So Amanda and I met and came out here for visits, to visit Rick and kind of see what was going on. My parents split up a while back, so Rick was living here most of the time by himself. My brothers here and there would come out. And so we did that until a couple years ago. I think it was the end of 2013. Rick got in a car accident and died. So we've been out here. This place requires maintenance, and it's a place that I love a lot, and I think that Amanda's enjoyed coming to.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember the first time coming here; it was awesome. There was still snow on the ground, so we came in by dog sled, and it was all very I don't know, magical. The mountain rising behind the house, you can't really see it. Doesn't do justice. The trees have gotten bigger since the first time. It's been 10 years, I think, since the first time more than 10 years since the first time I was here. So
Yeah, so it's been a place that's been in my life and in both of our lives for a number of years, but we're only kind of recently moving out here full time. I'm working remotely, so I'm able to work from anywhere. Satellite dish, solar panels. I think we came out here for the first time to really live when Kai was about 2 months old. So this is pretty much the home that he's known.
he's so cute.
Yeah.
When we're hiking through the woods on the way back, it's always home, home. But we're still learning so much about how this place works. Rick did so much that we weren't really aware of when we came for visits. And visiting someplace is always different than just living there full time, I feel like. I mean, I remember waking up, rolling out of bed at like 10, right? It's a joke now. And he would have breakfast cooked, and the fire was lit, and the water was already hauled up, and we just, you know.
Yeah, it's growing up here for me. When I was a kid, Rick did all the wood hauling and thought about things like how the house was insulated and what the foundation looked like, and that wasn't really on my radar when I was a kid, obviously. And as a young adult, I did do some projects out here. The big thing that we did was build that guest house, the station.
In Forest Room.
Yeah, so that's Forest Room right there.
Brother's room.
Yeah, Uncle Forrest. So Rick and I built that room the end of my senior year in high school, the summer before I went to college, and that was like a big project that I did that helped me kind of learn how to work with logs and how to build with logs. And but it's surprising to me. I feel like I've spent enough time out here and I've done enough work like that I feel like I should know what's going on. But it's been interesting to realize how much Rick did and how much I'm still learning, even though I feel like a pretty, I've got my Alaska credentials. I've lived on a homestead, grew up on a homestead much of my life. But there's a lot of ways that I feel like I still don't really know what's going on, or we're kind of relearning the ropes for sure. It's also, things have changed a lot. I mean, like, the satellite dish. This is crazy, man. When Rick came out here in 1982, I mean, there was nothing here. Like, it was just like any other spot in the woods, obviously. And in 1982, there was no cell phone. I think he experimented with a CB radio for a little while, and there was a ham radio back here for a little while. And then, in the mid 90s, we got a cell phone. That was like a really big deal. There was a huge cell phone antenna. It's different. Like, things have really changed in terms of our communication technology and how much it feels like this is removed and remote. It,
At least we have electric lights. We're not firing up the kerosene lantern when it gets dark.
yeah, there's little burn spots, little sooty spots on all the logs where the kerosene lanterns used to hang, which is like it's just a lot
Yeah,
different.
it is. And if you want to know more about how Rick got here, he actually wrote a book about it. So you can look that up. Edges of the Earth. He wrote about how he came to homestead the land out here and about building
From
this.
Manhattan, yeah. I mean, he really didn't know anything. Which, man, my hat's off to him. So many different times I've been cruising around here trying to figure out what to do, and I have such a huge leg up. I mean, if nothing else, I watched him do it all. He came out here knowing nothing, growing up in the suburbs of Chicago. So it's an interesting read. Just definitely
Yeah.
plug the book Edges of the Earth by Richard Leo.
Yeah, it's amazing to me actually when I look at the house thinking he's a writer. And he was a sports writer, and he built this house. He read a few books and then came out and did it. Where, I mean, you've got an engineering background, and some of the problems that we solve out here are unique to us. Every homestead is.
Some of the problems out here are imposed by the fact that Rick was a writer and didn't quite know what he was doing. I mean, he came out here. He had help building a little cabin. He had friends come out, but he built the big house. I mean, I know that there was people here and there that came out and gave him a hand, but basically he built the big house by himself, which is crazy in any number of ways. Just physically looking at how the size of the logs, trying to wrestle those as one person, and then at another level, just being able to do it and know what to do ish kind of. But there's a lot of stuff that he clearly didn't know what to do, and like the roof is a good example. It leaks and really kind of needs to get redone, and it was just sort of a poor roof design. But anyway, yeah, definitely things are definitely different than they used to be, and we're still feeling our way forward.